Okay guys, for your first craft, you are going to make a really tall and really strong structure out of marshmallows and spaghetti. Now I don't know if you've done this before, you might have done it in science at school, and if you have, then you know there's a bit of a trick to it. But have an experiment and see how you get on. I'm gonna have a go while I'm talking to you, but I've seen people try lots of different ways. I've seen people try different shapes. So they've had like square structures, they've had triangle structures, they've had pentagon and hexagon structures. So I've seen lots of different things being tried. I've seen people shoving lots of spaghetti into one marshmallow. I've seen people breaking the marshmallows in half, so they're a bit shorter because they thought that might be a bit stronger. So I want you to have a go and see what you come up with. Now I'm not really thinking mine through, as you can probably tell as I'm doing it, but let's just see how we get on. I'm going to try and keep mine as strong as possible. I did this once before and it came out looking a bit like a tent. So let's see if I can find a way around that and not do that this time. So it's all a bit weak at the moment because it's falling. I wonder if I can join them together with another one. I'm going to try and avoid the tent shape because I want to build on top of it. So I'm going to keep dropping them. Can you actually see what I'm doing? Kind of. You can kind of see. So I've just put some marshmallows at the top of these ones here. Because then what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and link them with another piece of spaghetti. Oh no, I broke it. Okay, so let me try a new one that's the right size. There we go. Let's pop that through and stick that in. Now my one might be rubbish and might not be very strong at all, but I don't know till I try. You might want to spend your time actually thinking it out, or you might just want to crack on. You might be the kind of person who's a bit like me, just cracks on and sees how it goes. Or you might be a bit more methodical and a bit more scientific about it, and a bit more mathematical. Both ways are really great. Okay, so I've got one side. I'm gonna have to hold this here so it doesn't fall over. You can't really see very well what I'm doing, can you? The angle's not great. There we go. So there we go. Let's get another marshmallow. Oops, I've got two there. And let's stick that in there. Okay. Oh God, I've got to hold it. Careful. So let's try and thread this one through here, and then attach it to this one. You might want more than one pair of hands doing this. You never know. Oops. Okay, so now, do you know what? These are the times where I think it'd be really cool to be an octopus, where you've got lots of hands. Right, so let's pop that one in there, and then get another marshmallow and a bit of spaghetti. If you're wanting to eat your marshmallows afterwards, then you will need to do this on a clean surface, and you need to make sure you've washed your hands first. Don't want anybody getting any bugs or any germs. Right, so it's all starting to fall apart now, so maybe this is where I should have thought about it a bit more. Right, let's stick that in there, and then oh no, I'm dropping it all now. There we go. Let's have a go popping this in here. It's a bit like very careful like knitting or crochet or sewing. There we go, so that's that side there. Oh look, we've nearly done it. Nearly done our second level. Just need one more bit of spaghetti to go in between these two sides. Don't die on me now, spaghetti. Don't break, don't break. Yeah, maybe I should have planned this out first, but that's all part of the fun, isn't it? Well, for me it is. For you, this might be quite stressful. There we go, so I've got my first level. So mine clearly isn't very strong, so I might need to go back and reinforce parts or just rethink about it. But you have a go. You see if you can make the tallest, strongest structure. And if you take any photos, I'd love to see your final outcome. And if your grown-up wants to email them to me, they can, to nina@abcmadedesign.co.uk. Or if you pop them on your social media, so on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, then if you hashtag it ABC does Messy Church, then I'll still get to see them. That'd be really cool. Okay, so have fun. Oh dear, it's all falling. Okay, right, for our second craft, you're going to have a go at making a trumpet, because as you'll notice in the story, Joshua blows a trumpet and it breaks down the walls of Jericho. So it's all very exciting in the story, but we're going to have a go at making a trumpet that looks like this. Okay, so it's actually really simple. All you need is a pair of scissors. I say it every time, but if you've only got grown-up scissors, then you do need a grown-up to do the cutting for you. You need a toilet roll or kitchen roll or something like that. I've given you all little ones in your packs, but if you've got any at home that you want to use that are bigger, feel free to use those, that's fine. I would just say if you're using a toilet roll, your grown-up needs to microwave it for 30 seconds twice before you use it. Okay, that just kills any bacteria. You need a pencil, you need 3 circle stickers, you need some washi tape, and you need some sticky tape. Oh, you can't see that, can you? There we go. And you need some coloured card. Now, the colour stickers, washi tape and card you get is completely random. So you might not have blue with a pink, yellow and purple sticker and a brown washi tape. It's completely random, so you can have any colour. Okay, so first things first, what you need to do, let's move one of these away because we only need one at the moment, is we are going to cover our loo roll. Okay, so the easiest way to make sure it's the right size is to pop your loo roll at the edge of your card and just mark, can you see what I'm doing? Yes, you can. Just mark where it comes up to. Oops. And just roll it down and do that a few times. You probably don't need to go all the way to the edge, but I'm going to anyway just to show you. Okay, and then just need to cut that out. Now this will be a bit long, but we're going to trim it in a little bit. Oops. Now we're going to stick this to our loo roll. You could use glue here, but glue sometimes struggles to keep this on because it's thick card, which is why I've only given you tape this time. Okay, but I'm actually going to start by sticking it down with one bit of tape to begin with. And then we're going to roll it. So let me just stick that down, making sure I've covered up all of the white part of my loo roll. Oh, might help if I did it straight. There we go, stick that down. Okay, and then I'm just going to roll it. I'm going to try to make sure I roll it straight so that there's no overlapping at the end. But once I've kind of overlapped a little bit of where I initially stuck it down, that's where I'm going to trim, because I don't need it any longer. And then I'm going to make sure that I stick this bit down with sticky tape as well. So prepare it. I'm just going to stick it to the edge of the table. So I've only got so many hands. So let's re-roll this again. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. And then we're going to stick this down. There we go. Oops, now I've made my tape a bit too long, so I'll just trim that in a second. Let's make sure that's completely stuck down. Oops. Okay, tape everywhere now. Okay, so that is stuck down. Now, your next step is to take a bit of card that you've got left, and right in the middle, you're going to pop your loo roll, and you're just going to draw around that circle, okay? Okay, once you've done that, You can use a ruler for this part, or you don't have to. But you want to draw around your circle again, but much larger around the edge. So you might want about a 3 or 4 centimetre gap. So I'll just show you with a ruler, and I'll show you without a ruler. So I'm marking mine out 4 centimetres, but it's up to you how big you do it. In fact, did I do it 4 centimetres? No, I didn't. That's a lie. Ignore that. Not 3 or 4 centimetres. You want it quite big, so at least 6 or 7 centimetres, whatever you've got space for. So there we go, 7 centimetres. I knew that felt wrong. So there's my 7 centimetres. But you don't have to. You could just guess. It doesn't have to be exact. And then you're just going to draw your big circle all the way around, and it doesn't matter if it's not perfectly round. Mine isn't. I'm not very good at drawing circles anyway, so mine looks a little bit like an egg. Can you see that? But yeah, so now what you need to do, oops, oh dear, knocking things over. You just need to cut around your outside circle, because this is going to be the cone part of your trumpet, or the bell part, I think is the actual musical term. I'm not a trumpet player, but my sister is. I might get cross if I get it wrong. Again, it doesn't matter. I've kind of missed the line a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. No one's going to see that bit. Okie doke. Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to cut a line, just a straight line, all the way up to your middle circle, okay? Just one, like that, okay? Now what you're going to do, you're going to cut out your middle circle, but you might want to cut inside the line, so it's just a little bit smaller than you've drawn around, okay? And that, it will make sense in a minute why you need to do that. So I'm just going to cut out my circle. Okay, we can get rid of that, we don't need that. So now the next step is to fold it inwards like this, so you end up with a bit of a, looks a little bit like a hat. And you will notice that it's made a really small hole down there, but don't worry too much about that, we're going to fix that. But this bit is quite fiddly, so once you've got your bell shape, you're going to need to use your tape to stick this down on the outside and then stick it down on the inside, okay? So this is where you might need a grown-up to help you, so they can hold it, or you can hold it while they stick it. Is a little bit tricky with any one hand, with any one pair of hands, but you know, we'll see. Right, I think that's the size I want my bell. Oops, just stick it down, and then we can do this side. And it doesn't matter if you can see, it doesn't perfectly match up your edges, because we can trim that later. Okay, right, so you should have your bell or your hat that does look like a hat. Now I am going to trim mine slightly just so it's all even, but do you know what, you don't have to do that. You can make it as rustic as you like. Okay, so now the next step is we are actually going to try and get our toilet roll through the hole, but you will notice it's too small at the moment. That's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to cut some little flaps, if you can see here, into our hole all the way around. Now, I would start off with small ones because you don't want them too big, because then it won't stay on your trumpet. But if you start small and it still doesn't fit, then you can make them bigger. So it's always better to start small, and then you can fix it if they're not big enough. So just cut all the way around. Oops, that was too big. Oops. Nina, need to listen to your own advice. Okay, once you've done that, you can fold your flaps outwards, okay, like this. So it looks a little bit like a flower in the middle. Oops. There we go. Now let me just test to see if mine doesn't fit through, and it doesn't. That's fine, so I'm just going to cut my flaps a little bit longer. Oops, that one is quite long anyway. Oh, I don't know what happened there. My camera closed down by itself, but we'll carry on. So I'm just sticking down the cardboard flaps with my normal sticky tape to begin with. just so you can see what I'm doing. Stick them down like so. Okay, so they're all stuck down now. Now I'm going to go over my sticky tape with my really pretty washi tape, so that it we can almost disguise the sticky tape and the flaps. I might need to go around several times with this, but that's okay. So let's I start you off and show you what I'm doing, and then I'll pause it. So this doesn't quite cover my cardboard flaps because they're quite long, so I'm going to go around a couple of times and overlap slightly to make this a thicker line. Actually, I said I was going to pause, but I think we can just keep going. You can see what I'm doing here. There we go. There we go. I might actually just go around the top layer as well, just so you can see really close to the top of the bell of my trumpet. Oops. Try not to pull too hard because then you rip it. I make the mistake so you don't have to. Right, there we go. So now we've got our bell attached to our tube. Now the next part, really simple. So you've got the rest of your card. You just need to, along the shorter edge, just chop a really sort of a medium-sized, maybe about 1 centimetre, 2 centimetres thick sort of strip of card, because this is going to be your handle to hold your trumpet with. Now this will be too long, but that's okay because we're going to trim it down. So I'm going to check how long it is compared to my tube, and I'm just going to chop off, maybe, can we see what I'm doing? A little bit more than the length of my tube, like that. So can you see? Oh, it's really hard to get the angles right on this camera. There you go. So now what you're going to do, I just want you to fold down, just ever so a very small part each side. Just fold down a bit of your card strip, because that's what we're going to stick to your trumpet as a handle. So you should be able to stick it down like that, and then you'll have a handle. Now I'm going to do it over the seam where I taped my card down, just to hide it a little bit. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but that's what I'm going to do. So let me get my tape ready. There we go. Stick down this edge first. And then bring it down, and then I'm going to stick that side as well. This is the sort of fiddly bit, it's trying to get the tape under the handle and stick it down, and try not to stick my finger to it as well. There we go. Right, so there's my handle to my trumpet, there's my trumpet. Last thing that we need is our buttons to press. So you're going to stick your stickers, your sticky circles down to make your buttons. So I've done it sort of directly above where my handle is. Let's have pink, then yellow, then purple. Oh, can you see what I'm doing? It's a bit hard. There we go. Okay, and there you have it. There you've got your trumpet. Enjoy!